Hello and welcome to this final video in my top 5 from each demographic series, and today we're going to be going over Seinen, my top 5 Seinen manga, and this is probably the list I took the longest to make because I kept wondering what manga I should put at number 5. I had the other 4 sorted, but I was like, what Seinen should I put at number 5? And I had to go through my spreadsheet and go over each one and think, is this at number 5? Is this at number 5? Until I did actually get round to picking one. I considered putting Your Former on this list because I adore that series, but I've only read one volume and I don't know if I could have justified putting a series where I've only read the first volume in my top 5. Plus, at some point I am going to read the light novel and I'm probably going to like that more. It's probably going to be in my top 5 light novel list if I get around to making one of those. So I thought, I'll leave Your Former for when I talk about light novels, and I'll put something else at number 5. Yeah, I do actually really like the series I picked for number 5, but yeah. It was the Seinen list that made these videos take so long to actually do because I was trying to think of a 5th one. Anyway, whatever. Let's get on with the list. Okay, and at number 5 on the list, the series that I went with was Insomniacs After School. This is a slice of life series, kind of romancy, but more towards later volumes. But we follow 2 students who are insomniacs, and they tend to go into their school observatory and just sleep there. Because obviously they're not sleeping at night, so they're tired, so they go to relax here, and they meet each other there, as well as this cat. And one of the teachers suggests that they re-establish their school's astronomy club, and they decide to do that. But it's more photography than astronomy that they go over, because he is interested in taking pictures of the stars, and he's enter this competition to see if he can win first prize for the best picture of the stars and stuff. It's just a very chill slice of life series following these 2 insomniac kids as they take pictures of the stars and go over astronomy and just grow closer. I do really like the art style. I think the art style is quite cute in this one. Yeah, there's also reasons why the 2 of them are insomniacs, which is explained later on, why both of them do have so much trouble sleeping. Yeah, it's very cute. It's nothing too extravagant. It's just a nice, relaxing slice of life manga following these 2 kids and their hobbies, basically, and them not sleeping. They often go out at night and obviously take pictures of the stars, and the scenery is nice. I say I'm up to date with the English release. I might be 1 volume behind with the English release. Yeah, a nice, relaxing, quiet series about insomniacs. I do like the characters. The characters are good, and as I said, the art style is cute. I like the way this author draws characters. Yeah, that's number 5. That is Insomniacs After School. I say I don't have that much to say about it because it's just a relaxing slice of life series. Now, my number 4 on the list is not one I hear a lot of people talk about. It's not one I see in collections often. It's not one I see mentioned often. But I loved it. And I think more people should give this one a go because it is very good. And that is I Had That Same Dream Again. This is a 3-volume long series condensed into this one omnibus. And this is based off of the light novel of the same name. Oh yeah, Insomniacs After School was written by Makoto Ojiro. I keep forgetting to mention authors. Yeah, this is based off of the light novel by Yoru Sumino, and the art is by Adumi Kirihara. The light novel for this one is also excellent, but this is a very good manga adaptation. It doesn't matter, you could read the light novel, you could read the manga adaptation, you're getting the same story. It's a fantastic adaptation. And after, I was satisfied with the light novel. It's one of my favourite light novels. It's great. But I wanted, obviously the light novel doesn't have any pictures, and when I saw there was a manga adaptation, I wanted to grab it to see what the characters look like and all that. But yeah, it is a fantastic adaptation. And it's a story I haven't actually read anything kind of like it. So this is a slice of life drama, I would say, about this 10-year-old girl who's assigned a school project during the summer. And this school project is to write about what happiness is to her. But she's stumped, and she has no idea what to do for this project or what to write. So, and she doesn't really get on too well with her classmates. She's considered to like she stands out. She's not overly friendly, and yeah, she doesn't get on too well with her classmates. Anyway, during the process of trying to find out what happiness means to her, she ends up meeting 3 women. She meets a teenage girl who seems to be having problems at home and with her family, and she always meets her on the roof of this abandoned building, and I've forgotten what she calls her. Yeah. I've forgotten what she names this teenage girl, but she does give her a name. And she also seems to be self-harming. So yes, things don't seem to be going great in her life. And she meets her, and then she meets this woman who I think is either in her 20s or her 30s. And she lives alone in this rundown apartment, and she simply goes by the name of Skank-san, because that's what's spray painted onto her mailbox. And it's pretty obvious that this woman is working in the sex industry, and she's also not very content with her life. She's having problems in her life, and she meets up with her too. And the last woman she meets is an old lady who lives alone in a cabin in the woods, and she's quite happy. She's quite content with where she is, but she does have some regrets and things she would have liked to have done differently. And from meeting these 3 women, she starts to understand herself more and starts to like find the answers she's looking for. But she also needs to find. It also turns out that these three women are somehow connected not only to each other but also to her. And I won't say anything more about that because that's a big spoiler. And I did kind of get the connection after maybe round about halfway through the 2nd volume. But yeah, it's about her coming to meet these women and discovering herself and discovering like them and finding out what happiness means to her. She also has this classmate called Kiryu-kun who's being bullied, and he stopped coming to school, so she's also trying to help him out, and like helping him out is also connected in some way to everything else. And it's a fantastic read. As I say, it's based off the light novel. I read the light novel first. I adored the light novel. And then I really liked this manga adaptation too, as it's pretty much the same story, just in manga format. It's a great adaptation. You might be more familiar with Yorusumo's other work, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. That's his most famous one. That one got an anime adaptation. It also got a manga adaptation. I have read that one too, but this, in my opinion, what I've read from Yorusumo is his best work. Yeah, it's very good. I would recommend it if you like the sound of it, if you like slice of life drama series, that you do go check this one out. It is definitely worth a read. It's one of my top 5 seinen. Next up is my number 3 on the list, and this one is the next 2 series are romance. And at number 3, I have Sweat and Soap by Kintetsu Yamada. This is a adult romance series with some spicier scenes. It's very light on the spice compared to, like, say, a steamship title or something like that. Or, like, some other, like, ghost ship stuff as well. And Sweat and Soap follows this woman who has an issue where she sweats quite a lot, and she's very self-conscious about this due to being picked on for it as a child, and she starts working in this, like, soap company where they manufacture soap, and this is one of the guys who designs the soap, and he starts smelling her for inspiration. It sounds weird. It's not weird. It's actually very cute. Not the smelling, but the story itself. Because he likes her scent because of all the soap she uses, and he uses her scent as inspiration to make more soaps, and obviously they grow closer and they start a romance, and it's just very cute. And again, I like the characters in this one. The romance was super cute. It was surprisingly wholesome considering the premise. Yeah. I know this is a popular one. Quite a lot of people probably like this one. I also quite like the ending. I know not everyone did, but I quite like the ending. It satisfied me. And I know a lot of people also says the series dips in quality, but to me, I enjoyed it from start to finish. I really like this one. Next up, my number 2 favourite seinen on this list. My second favourite seinen. This used to be my first, but it was recently dethroned as my favourite seinen by another series that I read. I haven't finished it yet because it's still ongoing, but this one is finished. And my number 2 is Kaguya-sama Lovers' War. This is a romantic comedy high school series. We follow these students at this academy called Suchin Academy, which is a school for the elite. And we follow the student council, and we have student council president Shirogane, and then the vice president Kaguya. It's Miyuki, Shirogane, and Kaguya Shinomiya. That's right, I remember now. I'm bad with names. And Kaguya and Miyuki like each other, but neither of them want to admit it because, like, Miyuki kind of doesn't want to lose because, unlike most of the kids in the school, he's not from a rich family. He's from a quite poor family, but he got into the school based on his academics and his grades because he's very smart. And he became the student council president. And Kaguya thinks that if she confesses her feelings first, then she's going to lose, because whoever confesses their feelings first in the relationship is the loser. That's what she thinks. So they both like each other, but neither wants to admit that they like each other. So what they do instead is they do these mind games where they try and make the other person confess their feelings first. And these games can be very funny. They can range from trying not to pop a balloon to, like, the game of life, or just really random things, trying to get the other person to, like, with movie tickets. They're trying to, like, exchange movie tickets by making it seem like they're not exchanging movie tickets. Yeah. I love Kaguya-sama. I like the characters. There's also the side characters of Chika, who is Kaguya's friend. There's also Yu, who's the treasurer at the student council, and he has quite a sad backstory. And then there's also Miko, who comes into it later. And then there's Ai, who's Kaguya's maid, well, she kind of just does everything for her, maybe. Yeah, Kaguya-sama is... I love the anime too. The anime's super popular, it has like 3 seasons. But yeah, I've loved Kaguya since I first started reading it. Obviously, as it gets further into the series, the kind of mind game stops and it kind of focuses a bit more on other things, but I still enjoyed those volumes. I enjoyed the whole series, and I did like the ending. There was a few things that were kind of left open in the end, but all in all, I think it had a satisfying ending, and I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed the romance. I enjoyed the characters and the random chapters with Chika trying to teach Miyuki new things, and the ramen masters that Chika kept encountering, but she had no idea what was going on because she was just eating ramen. And the game of life. The chapter where Chika and the board game club are making a game and Miko's on the phone and she gets the complete wrong idea. That I really liked that chapter. Yeah, there were some very good games that they played in the earlier volumes, and then there's some good drama in the later volumes, and yeah, I really like this one. My number 2 series is Kaguya-sama Lover's War by Akasaki, which I did try Akasaki's other work, which is Oshinoko, which I know is a super popular one as well, but I couldn't get into that one. It wasn't for me. I didn't really like it. But I have heard that he is starting a new series, and his new series is a fantasy romance in like a fairy tale setting, so that one might, I like that one more than Oshinoko, and hopefully as much as Kaguya-sama. I'm guessing we'll probably get it in English at some point because he is a popular author. Yeah, my number 2 seinen series is Kaguya-sama Lover's War. And now on to my number 1 favourite seinen series of all time. Recently became my favourite this year as I started reading it. It's a 5-volume long series. I've read 3 volumes in total. Can't wait to read the last 2. Reading the last 2, maybe the ending will knock it back down the list. Maybe the ending will solidify it as number 1 even more so. I don't know. But even though I haven't finished the series yet, even though I don't know how it's going to end, I had to put it at number 1 because I've been enjoying it so much. And that is Lonely Castle in the Mirror. I have been talking about this one quite a bit recently. Lonely Castle in the Mirror is this one's based off a novel, and the novel is by Mizuki Sugimura, and the art is Tomo Takatomi. But the author of the original novel also did School Frozen in Time's original novel, which is another series I really like. That one is shonen, it's not seinen. And she also did some other stuff which I have the novels for but haven't read. Yeah, this one follows a group of middle school students. Our main character is this girl here, and she's had a very difficult experience with severe bullying to the point where she stopped going to school. And she's in her room, and she's kind of doesn't like leaving the house anymore because she's so scared of what these girls did to her and that they're going to come for her again, that she can't even leave her house. Obviously, she hasn't told her parents any of this, so she feels alone in what's happened. And then one day, the mirror in her bedroom starts glowing, and she steps through it into this, like, fantasy castle. It's, like, fairy tale-esque. And she meets this little girl in a wolf mask, and she says that her and the other middle school kids, there's a bunch of them. There's, like, 7 of them, isn't there? I think there's 7 of them, or 8 of them. I can't quite remember how many kids there are, but yeah. There's a group of middle school kids. I think, yeah, there's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, there's 7. There's 7 of them. Yeah, there's 3 girls and there's 4 boys. There's 7. 8 if you count her. And they've all been brought to this castle, and they're told that they have to find this key. And if they find this key, they can have their wish granted. So they're all looking to find this key to have their wish granted. But they're allowed to stay in the castle into either someone's had their wish granted or into the end of, I think it was March or April. And then the castle will close and they'll never be able to go there again. So they've all kind of agreed to stay in the castle as long as possible because they feel safe there. All these kids have had trouble in their past with school for some reason or another. We haven't learned all of their backstories yet, but we have learned a few of those backstories. And because they're all having difficult home lives or difficult lives at school. None of them have been going to school, and they've been coming to this middle world instead because they kind of feel safe there. They feel like it's a place they can just be and belong. But she wants to make a wish to make her school bully disappear. That's the wish that she wants. So yeah, there's just, it's kind of slice of life with obviously that fantasy element to it. It's very good. A lot of drama. Talks a lot about bullying, stuff like that. There's a few twists in there too, things you're not expecting. And yeah, it's great. And I've just started absolutely adoring it from the moment I read the first volume. And I'm very, very hoping it ends well. And I think it probably will from the way things have been going. Yeah, I wasn't expecting some of the reveals that happened later on. And also the art style is great. But yeah, if you do, I do recommend looking up some trigger warnings because the bullying in this is quite intense. But yeah, it just follows. Basically, it's a story about kids overcoming their past hardships and coming together and forming bonds with each other. And basically moving past what happened to them. It's great. I do want to read the original novel, but I'm going to wait until I finish the manga first. There's also a film which I've been looking for, but I haven't quite been able to find it. So yeah. That is When We Kiss in the Mirror, and that is my top 5 Seinen Manga series. So, how did you enjoy the video, and what are your top 5 Seinen? Do you like these series? Do you not like these series? Are your top 5 completely different? Are they similar? I would like to know down in the comments if you're interested. So yeah, and this is my last of my top 5s for now. So I will see you again probably for a haul video at the end of the month. And then next month I have my favourite reads of the year, which is manga I started reading this year. And spoiler, this is one of them. And then I will have my most anticipated releases for next year, as well as the usual hauls and reading logs. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you for another one at some point, and yeah, bye.